All right, folks, we're 8 miles away from the top of the sand patch grade. Couple things about the top is we will have to stop this engine. We will have to walk the mile or so to get to the back end of the engine to uncouple that back engine. There is a glitch that happens up there that I ran across that I almost couldn't do until I reset the game. So something to keep in mind. We're going to keep this issue in mind when we do this. So if you're ever interested, keep in mind towards the end of the video that that's going to be coming up. I may have to reset the game in a way of just saving it and then trying to uncouple the cars and then trying to see if I can move the engine. Hopefully, if it all works well, I did a good job. And actually, the best thing I could do is go back in this front engine, move the train up forward, and then try to uncouple. Not really uncouple, but then try to go back in the main engine and move it out of the way after that. Come on, light. I just want you to turn green. That's all I want. I can deal with the yellow. The yellow's fine. You should be through the next one by now. Yeah, he's going through it right now. Oh, he's about to go through it. Never mind. Okay, he's a little ways out. So, yeah, we'll just keep coasting at this speed. Slowly get us to 35 miles or 30 miles an hour. Here's our whistle stop. Okay, good. So we're going to be blowing our whistle shortly here. I'm just going to zoom into this green here so that way I can see a little better. I don't know how many are in Glencoe, so I'll have to play that by ear. And we're actually not going to worry about him for a little bit. We're going to mostly focus on these whistle stops and making sure my speed doesn't exceed 25 for now. And then trying to also make sure and figure out what the next single is all about. Should be coming up on that crossing any second now. Where is the crossing? Okay, it's right around the corner. Okay, that's good news. So let's go ahead and start blowing the horn right now. It's a good place to do it. By the way, if you guys ever have external speakers, this is a fun game to play with external speakers because you could just turn it up quite nicely so it feels like you're actually in the engine itself. It might drive your ears nuts with the whole bell and the whole horn and the whole engine sound and whatnot, but it's kind of fun to have your room vibrating as you're driving this train along. And if you can ever get the throttle switches and stuff to actually maneuver the throttle on site, it could really also help and give you an extra leg up on things. So whatever works, right? Let's see where the back of my engine is. Oh, yeah, this is the right place. Okay, so let's see where the back is here. I don't know how far up I am. I should have looked for, okay, it's crossing that first bridge. So shortly after that, I think it should be the single to go to 35 or 30. Play that by ear. But I want to make sure I can still get in and out of this engine because there's a couple places where it got stuck. And my AP points are still gathering points for going under the speed limit, so this is all good if I could just take my time and get extra points. I got no complaints there. Look at that, I'm going 20 miles an hour and that car is going faster than I am. It's kind of funny. Look at him go, he's going faster. Eventually I might come up and start outpacing him at some point here. Oh, the single 0.8 miles away. I can actually take my way there. There's another crossing point at this point right here. Look, one of the signs is here. Retirement made easy. Honest bills. I'm going to start blowing the horn. Call now. 555. Save now. That's actually kind of funny. 555-7283-669. If you ever want to save for retirement, that's the number you want to dial right there. Retirement made easy, honest bills. And that's a good point to stop blowing that. Oh, look, you can actually see within the cars. That's hilarious. I was wondering what was inside. There's nothing in there. It's completely empty. No wonder this train can move. Let's see up ahead here. I think there might be another whistle stop after this bridge. No, there's not. Okay. We're just going to go right to the single, and there's only one single on this, so we can't tell what's up ahead until we pass that single and see what's going on. What's this one say? 50. So there's actually a 50 zone up ahead, so that's good news. Might get lucky. Oh, and by the way, look at this. This river here comes to an end. This is where the end of the river is, right about here. Oh, no, it's not. There's actually a point where the river comes to an end. So that's definitely worth finding and seeking out here at some point. I think I should blow the horn here. I feel like that's where it should go. This used to be a connecting switch that connected over and went out to the side over here as a siding. But they took that out, as you can see by the ties here. There used to be another rail line that cooked up right here. So it's kind of cool to catch this. So we're going to be 300 yard into the switch, and we should be able to get through it, hopefully. Cross fingers here. 7.2 miles from the top of the grade. Or actually slightly under the top of the grade, if we have it downhill slightly. We're at 20 miles an hour right now, so let's hope for the best. There's no green light yet that we've gotten, so it's still yellow. That makes me feel good. And why the back end of my car had not gone 35, I don't even know yet. Let's see what next single tells me. 2.3 miles. It's yellow. And what else does it say? Okay, nothing else. So just that. What's going on with the back end of my car here? It should have already crossed that speed limit. Whatever. Interesting. It's actually loading all at once right now. This is interesting. Alright. Whatever works. So there's our speed limit to go faster. 25 to 50. So I don't know if that's actually going to jump like it should. Oh, the bell is off? Yes, it is. Okay, excellent. Yeah, by the way, on this mission, when I first played this, I accidentally hit the emergency brake. And I thought I screwed up the mission because I hit the emergency brake. But it turned out it didn't mess up the game at all, thankfully. I guess it was just an accident when I was trying to manage to slow the train down and stuff. And I accidentally went too far to stop the train. And I accidentally hit the emergency brake, and apparently it didn't affect the score severely. So apparently most of the score in this mission is primarily based off of the fact that I have to do these options here, as well as stopping the train, as well as stopping the train a couple times for 500 points and a 250 right here. So this is actually kind of cool that you get a couple points in here where it gives you the main basis for the points, but at the same time your main points are actually coming out of the fact that your speed limit here, as you just saw there, is based on 30-point increments. So the more of those I can get, the better off I am. If I get a silver on this, I'm going to be so sad. Let's see where our friend is. So we're going down the straight and narrow portion where that siding is. We're actually going to be passing it any minute now. And he's coming around that last curve. Oh, that's so good news, because he's coming around the last main hilly curve, so to speak, and everything's all downhill for him. And there's another train coming up in the other direction too. So let's see where his next single is. Yeah, he's got a green light for that single. So once he gets through there, then he's gonna hit the red. And I do not know why it's red. Because over here it's yellow, which is interesting. So there's a reason he's got a red light, and I don't. Oh, he doesn't have a red light. He's gonna be merging onto this one, so that might be red just for him to merge. And it looks like we're about to hit our speed limit here. It didn't even go to 30. I don't know what happened there. I'm not gonna worry about that. So it might actually be 22 miles an hour for the next 6 miles. I hope not. There's our siding right there. A small little siding. It used to go further according to the railroad track there, and now it's just a smaller siding. Our guy never came back. I think he jumped off the train. I don't know what happened to him. Oh my goodness. Huh. I feel like the switch was set wrong. Oh well, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm still rolling through, so whatever. Yeah, we have to make sure we don't go too fast as we go along. We're in throttle 6 here. Oh, we're starting to slow down. Let's go up to throttle 7. Give us what we can to get us as close to 25 miles an hour without running over. I think this will be a good time to start speeding up anyways, because we're getting close to the 5-mile limit here. And everything else here, let's just hit the save button one more time to make sure we got this saved. And actually, you can see this. This is really good. I'm doing a really good job with my speed limit here. And it's coasting along really good. So we'll see if I get a red after that single. Hopefully it's still yellow. In fact, I could probably go up to throttle 8 if I wanted to. But I'm going to keep this for now and see if I get up to 22. Hard to say. 1.5 grade. Yikes. Oh, there's a... Well, no, oh, never mind. I thought this jumped, but it didn't. I'm just slowing down. That's what's happening. Okay, we're going to go to throttle 8. We're just going to give us all our throttle right now. But I think we're going to need it. That single should be right around the corner there. And... Yep, right around the next corner. So there you go, another point right there where you can't see the single from the engine itself. And so you just have to get lucky if you just run across that single or just know it exists. So we're going to find out if we can do this. Looks like this thing's saying the train's going to slow down. I hope not. This 1.5 grade really hits hard, especially if you're not already going fast enough to hit it. But we're going to see what happens with the single once we get past this. Our competitor at the other end is going through the last set of singles. So, yeah, definitely slowing my train down right now. So hopefully I keep going at 20 or 15 to 20 miles an hour here. Is this a single, or a double? It looks like it's single, so... I don't know. So hard to tell. Zoom up there. Yeah, that's just a single right there, just one. So we're still good. We're just going to keep it rolling. And we're going to be coming around that last curve that he just went across, and he's already down here. He's going through that last green right there, so that's good news for him. He's going down pretty good, and he should be coming up. Let's see if his future singles have changed on him. This train's still moving. This is still a red light right here, so... Oh, but that one turned green, so that's good news. So we got at least one red zone between me and the ending, but the ending should be green for him up ahead, because the next single after that is like somewhere down here, and it's yellow, so he can still go through once you get to that point. Our next single says it is a red single, so yikes, we're going to have to hope for the best. 2.3 miles away. What could be causing that? I don't even know. Maybe it's him. Oh, okay, it's him. Wait, where's the single? Where's me? Let's make sure I'm not speeding. I'm not speeding. Okay, so let's go in there. Let's figure out what's going on. Oh, there's the red single. Okay, the red single is right there because he's not all the way through the other single that he's going through right now. So he's actually going through his single right now, and that's going to give me the single that I need to make sure I get through, the one in 2.1 miles away right now. So, yikes, we're going to go at least a mile, and if that single doesn't change, we're going to have to slow this train down one more time and hope for the best. We're 5 miles out. This is not the time to stop a train. And at some point, we're going to start going downhill, and we're going to have to slam our brakes a bit more. Yeah, so that red single is because he can't get through his single fast enough. Yikes indeed. Yikes indeed. Did the whole mile to get... Wait. Oh, wait. There's another single up there. Oh, that single should change any second now then. Because he's going through 2 different singles. Because he's going through this one. And he's going through that one. So that's excellent news. Okay, good. So we shouldn't have to slow down at all. We're going to leave our train the way it is. Our train should be able to drive right through that in yellow single any minute now. So this is excellent news. I didn't think this would happen. Yeah, when we get up there we go. The yellow single just happened. So that's good news. We are set to go through this horseshoe curve here. One we're going to try to see if we can snap some pictures as we go around that curve there as we come up into it. And as he's going, he should be going through the next single up ahead, I hope. And then that single hopefully will turn me green once you get through that one. And then the next single he's got going forward, it really does help to pay attention to the trains in front of you. Kind of know what's going on there. The next single is, I believe, green. No, he's got a red single, so I don't know what he's going to do there. He might have to stop at his single, which means I might have to stop the single he's currently going through. So we're going to find out if this turns green first off once he gets his train all the way through that single up ahead. There's lots of the cars are going through right now, so we're going to wait till this happens, and then I'm going to cancel the map right when the last car goes through, so that way I can get a rough idea of what's happening here. Oh, geez. Wow, I almost missed that crossing. Okay, it looks like it's going to stay yellow. So that might mean I have to stop at that other one because he's not yet through it yet. So, okay, that's fair. Oh, I can't believe I missed that. I almost missed that crossing right there. Also, pay attention to what you're doing on the train. Don't just sit there and stare at the map the whole time while you're driving. So yeah, let's go back to him. Even though I just said that, let's go back to him. So he just got through both. This guy's waiting here for something. I don't know what he could be waiting for. Okay, he's got a green light, so he's good to go through. And then he's got a red light. I don't know what that means. I wonder if he's crossing over. We're going to have to see when he gets there, if he crosses over or not. What's this say here? 40-25. For whatever reason, I can't seem to get past 25 miles an hour on this thing. Let's just go ahead and zoom through the forest here. Kind of see what's going on for the next mile of railway here. Because this other single here will be able to tell me whether it's a one single or a two single tower. Okay, there's a crossing up ahead. Where's that whistle stop? Okay, there it is. It's hidden in the trees, man. That's rough. Now to make sure I hit this one, for whatever reason, just make sure I get this one. And then there's our single right after that crossing. So we'll be able to tell in a little bit whether we can get through or not, because there's two singles here. There's my yellow and there's his red. And so if he gets through in time, I will be able to do this. If he doesn't get through in time, I'm going to be stuck. So let's hope for the best that he can get through his single in time for me to get through mine. He's going through his green right now, so I might get lucky once I get there in about 0.6 miles. That might change for me. If not, it's going to be red and then it's going to turn yellow. So we'll see. Let's keep an eye out for that whistle stop I just saw. Yikes. This is a long mission. It's already 12:02 officially on the game. And I started this at 10:05, so technically 2 game hours have passed. I don't know how many real hours have passed. We'll find out when I'm already done with this, whether I've gone through like 3-4 hours of this mission. Blow the horn here for this crossing. Getting lots of points for staying under the speed limit. Only one speed limit gripe in this whole game so far. Hopefully that didn't kill my points or anything like that. Turn that bell off. We won't need it for a little while. There's going to be a couple more crossings up ahead, I know, towards the top. So we just have to keep an eye out for that. So let's see if he actually gets through in 500 yards. I don't know if he's going to get through by the time I get to that red light up there. Hoping for the best here. That's actually beautiful too, so snap this, maybe snap this. That's a good point there too with the lights. And one of these right there would be good. But I believe the curve is my next destination once I get around. The train's already coming around the curve on the other direction. So we should be keeping an eye out for a train coming towards me and get the bell turned on for that. But if anything, I should be coming up on the curve, and that would be a great time to snap a picture once I start curving. And that will be after this single, but before the next one. So let's see what my yellow light tells me. Oh, it turned green. Look at that. I am golden. It turned green, so I got lucky right at the end. 2.4 miles. We're going to be yellow again, so we should be good to go for a little while here. That is excellent news. We should be good to go for most of this curve. And in 2.4 miles, we'll be heading up on this red light right here. Yeah, it's going to be really short between the yellow and the red. So once we hit that yellow, we're going to want to make sure we stop in time. And the other one's red too because he's not yet all the way through either. So he is about to go through the Sand Patch Grade Summit that I need to get through. So once he gets through there, I should be good to go. And I shouldn't have to stop too many times, hopefully. He's about to cross over this one right now. So let's go see what happens here once he gets across. Oh, I can't see it there. Well, there we go. Once he gets across, that other one should hopefully turn green for me. It's red still, so there's a chance I might have to stop here. So this guy's waiting. Oh, I see why he's waiting. He's waiting for this other guy that I'm about to meet up with in just a few minutes here. That guy's going to be coming around the curve as well. So we're going to see if we can snap a picture with this other guy. And it looks like we have another 30-mile-an-hour zone. We never even hit the first 30-mile-an-hour zone, so whatever on that. I feel like my... No, it is off. Okay. It really feels like my bell is not off. I don't know. It's just so bizarre. I'm hearing bells now. Yeah, we're going to want to turn it on as soon as we see that engine in front of us. And then this grade is going to start changing once we get to that other single up there. There he is. Turn on our bell just so that way we have it on for this engine in case a deer or something is out behind that back end of that engine. Or who knows if anybody's even out here. But there is a couple houses out here. As you can see, there's some workers down there. You never know when somebody might just hop up onto the roadway here. So just plays to, play it safe while you're going along here. We'll turn off the bell once we get to the other end of this. Not a bad picture right here. Also not a bad picture in the other direction. But I'm actually going to take it more so once I go over this main curve that I'm going over right now. That's going to be the place to take the picture. Because I'm going to be back over somewhere over there. And I should hopefully be able to see the back end of my cars on the opposite side. Hopefully. Meanwhile, hopefully I don't run into any crossing gates as I try to take a picture here. That would kind of suck. There's a tunnel right under there. That's super cool. Here we go. We're starting the curve. All these trees are going to get in the way, so that's going to kind of suck to see the back end of my cars. But I'll try to see what I can get. And get as much as I can out of this. Oh, see, there it is. A whistle stop sign. I'm so glad I turned around to make sure. So we're definitely going to be crossing at least one crossing here. And that'll be a good point to make sure that we blow the horn just at the right time and then hopefully turn back around just at the right time too. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see the back end of my cars right there. And we're coming up on the crossing right now, so this is a good time to blow the horn. And while I do this, let's see if I can snap a good picture. That's actually the place where I originally stopped. That's actually the beginning of the game. Right there was the very beginning of the game where that train originally stopped. So we're back at the very first mission. This is the very first place where we drove our train through. So that's kind of nice to see. To be able to drive through that very first area that we were in, to drive that ACX or whatever it was, that fancy engine that we drove the very first mission, to kind of get to see how trains roll along. And in fact, that would have been a great time to tell us about whistle stops, but they didn't tell us about that, so we had to figure that out all on our own on how to drive an American railway on the CSX Sand Patch grade. We're currently about 3 miles away from the top of the grade, so we're almost at our destination. 0.9 miles an hour, 0.9 miles. We have our single, and our grade is starting to lessen at this point. So at some point the grade is going to flip, and we're going to have to kind of keep this in mind because we got to stay 30 miles an hour going down this grade here. And so that's going to become very important to ensure that we use our dynamic brake as we do this. Oh, grade's going up now. We're going to be going to a 2% grade in a second here, so we'll see how that affects my speed. So let's go ahead and just take camera 8 out to that single. See what else we got up there towards the single. I think we should be clear and not have to worry about anything actually between here and there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So there we go. There's our 3 singles. We have a yellow and 2 red. So there's a chance we have to stop for a little bit. Why we're stopping, I'm not exactly sure. So we have to stop here for some reason. And I wonder if it's because of this guy. This guy must want to wait for something. Who knows? And actually, you know what we're probably stopping for? We're probably stopping for that guy that's up ahead of me. I mean, there should be no reason since we're stopping here. But we're probably waiting for him to get through another single. So he's got to get through this single at least. And then we've got to wait for him to get through probably this single here. And that's going to take some time because if he gets through this single, that's a long way to go in terms of where I am and where he is. So, yikes. Where I am and he am. I don't know how I'm saying that. But yeah, anyway, so where he is and where I am, it's a bit of a distance. And so there's a good chance I might have to slow this train down to avoid the red light. We're going to have to wait and see, and if we're lucky, we can just drive on through. We're only 2.4 miles away anyways, and so it's about the good time to slow the train down anyhow. So we're going to wait till we get through this yellow, and we'll see about how far we are, and we'll start dropping off our speed, and hope for the best as we go along. The top of the summit should be coming up any minute now, actually. Where we're stopping is not the top of the summit, so just something to keep in mind there. Okay, here we go. Let's see if any of these singles change as we drive over it, or just before we drive over it. If we're lucky, something's going to change. If not, we're stopping at that red light anyways, and probably because of that other engine on the side. Yeah, nothing changing here, so still red, so darn it. Okay, so we're going to have to stop in 1.7 miles, so let's go ahead and get our train slowing down here. We use the grade to kind of get us down to 15. Hit the bell, and that train's probably waiting for me to pass. Oh, that's why. He's going to cross over onto my crossing, so that makes a lot of sense there. That single should be for this track here. That shouldn't be for me. Wow, that was kind of cool. Its light reflected off my window. Yeah, we're going to slow down to about 10 miles an hour if I have to. And if we're lucky, we do this right, we should be able to get the train to naturally slow down for that 1.5 miles away. If we're lucky and we do it well. Let's see how we go. We're only 2 miles away anyways, so we have to stop anyways. So this is the right place to stop. So this might actually be pretty close to my stop. So that's probably going to be a place where we have to wait anyhow. Looks like he's moving now, so okay. Going 10 miles an hour now, so let's speed up a little bit here. I know this train's going to take at least a good mile to slow down and stop completely, so if we're lucky, that last red will turn green and we'll be able to go the last 2 miles to our destination and completely stop. So we're going to hope for the best here. It's kind of, there we go, it just turned yellow. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and speed up again. And we're going to go, essentially that single is the place where we need to stop, and so we're going to have to plan this out. We're 1.9 miles away from the stop officially and 1.3 miles away from the single. So that single is about almost a mile away. So that single is a good place to know where our stopping point is in this rail line. And we actually managed to get through the sand patch grade with no stops at all. And if you're lucky and you do the same thing, you'll score the same deal. And you'll be able to hopefully make this happen for yourself. The grade is dropping now. It's now at a 0.5 grade, so we got to keep that in mind as we go along. We may be dropping to the alternate grade, and this is where we're going to probably have to start activating our dynamic brake shortly. So we're going to have to keep some things in mind here as we drive. We're going to need to keep an eye on our grade, keep an eye on our speed, and keep an eye on our destination and what we're looking at here, because we've got a few things happening. And we've gotten a couple of these 30-mile-an-hour zones, but they don't seem to be working right now, so I'm not going to worry about that. We're going through another tunnel. This one's kind of a short tunnel, so not too bad here. Oh, good. So this tunnel is actually the place where we should be slowing down. So this is a very useful place to know where we should be slowing our train down, just for safety's sake. to ensure that our train makes it to its destination. And something with the grade here, this is just kind of important as we go along through this tunnel. We're going to slowly start backing off on our throttle, and once we get to the other end of the tunnel, our train should hopefully stop itself, because we have a mile and we want to make sure we stop our train within a mile here. I'm really curious how long I've been talking, so I'm looking forward to seeing the end of the recording. Oh, it does say that I've been recording for 2 hours already. This is crazy. I should this is practically live stream material here. My goodness. So just wait till I upload this. I might even do this again in a live stream, just for the heck of it, just to show you how it all works. Throttle 5 coming down, and we're gonna hope for the best here. Yeah, if I did it as a live stream, I might just not talk. I might just like let the train roll along, play some music in the background and stuff. But this one's going to be for YouTube, of course, so that way if you needed to follow along, you can kind of see where you're going with things, and figure out how to best stop your train and all that good stuff. So we need to slow this train down even more, because we're 1.3 miles away. So let's go down to throttle 1 here. And I think that's going to be enough to start slowing this train down. Oh, it is. Perfect. Let's get this train down to 15 miles an hour. Now I think I need to get to 5,600, so yikes. Hopefully I don't get a silver. If I get a silver, that's gonna be messed up. It'd be like a waste of 2 hours right there. This game is just so much for me. And it'll be because of that stupid first speed limit issue. Hopefully it won't matter too much. Okay, the stop here is 1.2 miles away. And our dynamic brake is going to be the thing we're going to have to activate pretty shortly once we get to the other end of the tunnel. Let's keep us at 15 miles an hour too. I know when you play this game, you get so used to hearing the bell all the time. As you can see, my speed's slowly dropping off little by little. And the goal here is really to be about 10 miles for the last mile, just to ensure I have the ability to stop the train. And then I'm going to essentially lock my automatic brake and lock my, essentially my independent brake and automatic brake as they go along. So that way I can go back to the front of the engine when I do it. I lock down that one car temporarily, and then unlock it once I get the train moved up a little bit. That's my goal. That's what I'm going to try to do. We'll see how it works. All right, so we finally got through the tunnel. We're about a mile away from our destination. We're 10 miles rolling here, slowly, little by little. This train eventually is going to start to have a grade slip. So this is about the top of the sand patch grade, right about at this point. So we want to make sure we keep the train moving, but at the same time, we also want to make sure we account for the fact that we have to stop the train. And so we want to preserve our brake pipes for as long as possible to not have to worry about them. And I'd rather take the slow speed than deal with this in an alternative way where I have to, like, I'm going too fast. And so it gets kind of hard to stop a train like this, because the train cars behind you start to bump up against you and will actually push the train forward. And so it's a little tricky. Let's give it throttle 3 to keep us up at 8 miles an hour for a little bit here. And that next light is going to be the one that we're definitely going to be stopping at for sure. And we don't want to cross over that light, or else we're going to have some issues with the game saying that we killed it. And so let's go ahead and hit save here. This is a good place to save the game, just to play it safe. And 100 yards should get us through that light if I ever do. Okay, good. It's speeding up a little bit. That's good news. And a future mission, I think we get to go down the stand patch grade as well. So we'll see how that goes when I get to that point. This is actually the first official scenario mission. I should have probably said that in the beginning. There it goes. Okay, so now it's just all about just stopping. So 0.9 miles now, 0.9 miles now away from the stopping point. And so let's go ahead and, oh, there it goes. It's starting to go downhill. So we're going to set up our dynamic brake at this point. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000, and 10 1000. So I noticed my speed is actually dropping still. So we're going to see if there's going to be a point where I'm going to catch my speed. I don't know if it's going to happen. I may have to turn the dynamic brake back off if it doesn't do it. I'm going to kind of hope for the best here. This stop is definitely very tricky to work with. Because when the dynamic brake is on, I can't actually turn on my throttle. So the train should start to get some momentum here as soon as the cars start crossing over. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to have to turn it back off. Let's go ahead and give me some throttle here, because I want to stay at 5 miles an hour. I don't really want to go too slow. There it goes. I'm like, where's my throttle? Yeah, so there's the summit sign. Right there is your summit. So that's where we are, 2258 feet in height here. And so it's just something to keep in mind there. So this train is coming to a stop shortly, if we can get there. 0.9 miles an hour away. Oh my gosh, 0.9 miles away. And actually, this is a good point to start turning on the bell. Because we're going to be crossing over that right up ahead. And so this is the summit station, so to speak. We're going to be crossing this here. And then we're going to be crossing over this, going past these houses for a little bit. And then at some point up ahead, there's some windmills. Super cool to see those. Up ahead should be a siding. So there it is. 0.8 miles up ahead. There it goes. So there's our siding right there. So that's the place where we're going to stop. And so I'm trying to get myself enough speed to kind of get myself there. And we're going to stop essentially in front of this house before we get out and move our train backwards on the other end where I was back there. So going back in the engine right here. So right about here, there's a couple of switches and stuff where we need to kind of get ourselves on a siding, and we just need to eventually go past this thing. And this is the point where we're going to cross over this switch here, I believe, and then go down this way. And I think we go over to the side over here. And then we finally stop. I think this is where we stop officially on the siding here. And that's our truck that we're going to be stopping at in a few minutes here. So, good place to stop. Yeah, our speed is going to slowly start to go up now since we're going to grade. The grade's starting to go down. So let's go ahead and just kind of maintain our throttle as best we can. Okay, there we go. So let's turn on our dynamic brake. This engine just start rolling down on its own automatically. So 2 1000. 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6 1000, 7 1000, 8 1000, 9 1000, 10 1000. Turning on dynamic brake. Let's see what this looks like on the outside. You can see the fans are starting to run there. And it's actually in both engines, so you can actually see the other engine fans running. So if I turn it off, you'll see the fans come to a stop there. It's really cool to see this little extra detail of the fan turning on. And we have a ways to get there, so no rush. I just want to stay under 10 miles an hour as I do this. Dynamic brake power 3, we can go to dynamic brake power 8. So we have a ways to go throttle wise, and we're starting to speed up, so we want to make sure we can get as much brake as possible. And we're going actually too slow for our dynamic brake to be super effective, but we want to use this rather than the brake pipes and the brake cylinders to stop this train, and just make sure that we can kind of get as much braking power as we can get here. And so we're probably going to go all the way up to throttle 8 for brake power, and then we're going to start to introduce. Let's just take it all the way to throttle 8 and see what we can get. If this thing can go back under 10, I think I'll be okay with that. Once we get to 0.5 miles away, I think that'll be a good point to start working with the initial reduction of this train and trying to slow it down. It gets kind of tricky to figure out how to do this too. Make sure this train's still stopping here. I turned on the bell primarily because we're going to be stopping, and we need to make sure that we let anybody else out here know that we're driving down through. So that's kind of our goal with this. And you can see how useful the dynamic brake can be just to keep the train at the speed we want it to be at, with no throttle needed, really. And the introduction of the independent reduction, or even the automatic reduction, kind of helps us with just managing that speed. Alright, we're starting to speed up again, so not the initial reduction. I don't want to do that yet. I wanted to get the last of the brake pipe in there. I mean, last of the dynamic brake in there. Hit the wrong button. I'll make sure I can stay under 10 is what I'm looking to do here. And I know this is a long 0.6 miles to walk and even just to roll on the engine, but I'd rather just make sure I'm on track here with stopping on time, because it's really easy to screw this up. Get a camera 8 here because that will help me figure out where the station is up ahead. Because you can see where my destination is. It's not too far off from that station. So it's right in front of the station. So that's basically where we got to stop right there. In about 500 miles, basically 500 yards. Basically once I pass the turn here, that's the point I want to make sure I can stop. So I'm coming up on the turn right now. Put the dynamic brake back on again. Stay under 10. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to be kind of working with a bunch of different things as we do this. So this is going to get kind of interesting. We're going to be working with the engine dynamic brake, the independent brake, and the automatic brake as we do this. So you can see our destination up ahead. Our dynamic brake is on full. I can't do any more there. So at this point, it's going to be working with initial reduction of the main brake pipe. And as we do this, the train will start to slow down even more. And we're just going to let this train slow down to at least 5 miles an hour. And at some point, we'll have to start putting on the independent brake, but we'll do that when we're a little bit closer. You see how tricky this gets. Yeah, so at this speed, honestly, the dynamic brakes are just horribly ineffective. And so you can kind of see how I'm preserving the brake pipes, and they're not dropping off critically. I'm just working with what I've got speed-wise, and you'll start to notice as the cars bounce around and that accelerometer starts picking up what the car does, it starts shoving me, and it will actually start to change the speed I go. And so that's why I wanted to try to aim for 5, so that way as I slow down here, I could hopefully stop right at the location on target, underneath this engine right here. Eventually we're going to go to camera 3 here, and we're just going to put camera 3 over here because this is where I want to be able to see what I'm doing when I get to that point over there. But for now, we're going to stick with camera 2. Another step of initial reduction to get this slowing down again. We're going to have to keep an eye on the grade because as the grade goes, it's going to start to get worse and worse as we go to slow this train down. About 300 yards away here. This is probably about as realistic as you can get with the railway. There we go. Release our automatic brake. Let that brake pipe fill up back up again. Just watch the speed limit as we go. About 200 yards, we're definitely going to want to slow this train down even more. So at 200 yards, we're going to try to aim for 3 miles an hour. Maybe a little bit more than that. So once we hit 6, we're going to apply the initial reduction again. Make sure we can keep this train slowing down on target. And we're going to go now to camera 3, I think at this point would be worth doing. And we're going to kind of pay attention at this point. Go 4 miles an hour at this point. And release this for now, and we're going to stick with the 4 and 5 miles an hour and just try not to go over 5. And put on the initial reduction again. Make sure we stay under 5. As you can see, we're starting to speed up a little bit, so it takes a little bit to get the speed to go back down again. And we're almost 100 miles out, 100 yards out. So this is a good point to go under 4. And if we're lucky, if we do a good job, we can either keep the dynamic brake on until the train stops completely, or we can just kind of work with the two and even start to introduce the independent brake as we go and just start to turn off the dynamic brake. But I want to leave the dynamic brake just to kind of give me that extra slowdown that I could use here. I don't know if it's going up. Yep, it's going up a little bit. So at 50, we're going to definitely slow this train down even more. Okay, 24% of automatic brake, 35% automatic brake, 45% automatic brake, 56% automatic brake. Let's start introducing some independent brake here. And we have to make sure that we get over past 2 yards here. Let's set our independent brake here to help out. More automatic brakes. More independent brake. I'm going to get to 50% independent brake here. And get this, I think is a good time to set this to full service. And we'll set this to full
Great
application.
effort. You've definitely got the hang of this. Head back, unhook the rear locomotives, and park them up on the sidetrack. A CSX pickup should be there to meet you. I'll see you later.
So at this point we can turn off the dynamic brake. We won't need it anymore. This engine currentently locked down, and this is actually a perfect point to save the game on purpose because I don't need to drive the last 5 miles again. Let's go back in the engine. We're going to turn off the cab light because we won't really need this right now. We'll take out the reverser at this point, and I believe somebody's going to drive this train, but for now we're just going to turn off our lights. Because we're actually, yeah, we're just going to turn off the light for now. And we'll leave everything else the way it is for now. Whoever's going to be in here will just end up dealing with the rest of the lights of this engine and the train. So for me, I'm just going to turn everything off. I guess I could leave this actually set controlling with unit coupled at long hood end. That'll be fine. And then the other engine will be fine the way it is. We'll just leave that. Because none of the lights are active in the other engine. So let's go ahead and climb down. We get a wonderful 0.7 mile walk down the other direction. And we're going to go see if the game glitches out on us. If it does, we're going to have some problems. If it doesn't, we won't have problems. So even before I uncouple this, it would actually behoove me to go inside the engine to set this one up as a trailing, not as a trailing engine, but as an actual lead engine here. Fuse box is still open, my goodness. Anyway, so this is now going to be controlling with unit coupled at long head end. Everything else is going to be kind of good here. So independent brake, full application. Automatic brake, we're not going to set this to release, but I'm going to put this at full application as well. Full service for that. And I think I'm good. The handle is still there. I forgot to take it out. Well, oh well. Let's go ahead and see what happens if I uncouple this. Okay, good news. It didn't move. That's good. Glitch didn't happen. So now we're going to move the train backwards. We'll just leave this door open. There's no point to close it. So I think I can get away with this. Set this to reverse. Let's set my headlight to dim for the time being. And I'm going to blow the horn a couple times here. I'm going to set my throttle to 1, and for the sake of this, I am going to go to camera 3 here for a second, the other camera 3. And we're going to make sure, oh see, there's the glitch, it's already happened. Yikes. Releasing both independent and automatic brake. Let's see if I can get this to happen. Wow, I got lucky. Okay, I got lucky there. That is lucky. Wow, that glitch almost screwed me over. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cutout needs to be on freight. MUA2 need to be lead or dead. Okay, I almost just went right back into it again. Okay, good. Hopefully that didn't screw me up. And now we're going to be going about 0.7 miles the other direction. Yeah, let's hope for the best here. And I don't know. Let's go to throttle 1 for a second here, not 9. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, that is what I'm looking for, 9. So let's see if I have to switch any switches here. Looks like I don't have to switch anything yet. But I will have to go this way, so let's see what happens. Oh, you know what I think I'm missing? Go back in here. No, these are on. These are exactly what I want. Oh, you know what? I think I left... Did I leave these on? I swore I turned these off. That's interesting. I think the game turned it on. Interesting. Well, that's interesting. I remember turning these 3 off. Or were they supposed to be on? Oh, no, these were right. They were supposed to be on. Okay, I'm good. Never mind. I thought I was messing it up. I just had to go look over there at the Google Sheet there. Yeah, let's go ahead and throttle up as best we can here, and we'll just go ahead and get us moving. And I don't know if I go to... I believe I go to... I swear I go to the siding right there. But that siding looks too short, so maybe it's not that one. Maybe I go to a different siding. Go over the bridge here. Oh, the single says I can go through. That's kind of funny. Oh yeah, it does. So there's the switch off right there. Yeah, so that's going to be the switch I'm going to be switching through. Okay, we're going to kind of coast down at this point and set my independent brake ready to turn this on here. Alright, we're going to set my independent brake, slow this train down. Because we're going a little too fast here. Slow this train down even more. Let's go to camera 3 here because that's just... sure we get this on target here. 25 yards away. So might have to throw the throttle just a little bit. 15 yards away. And that will do it. And let's go ahead and stop right here. 5 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 2 yards. And that should cover it. We'll lock this down here. Location sand patch sidetrack. As you can see, the single already did it for me, but we're just going to make sure that everything is set for me to go there. It looks like everything's set to go to the sidetrack, so that's good news. So let's see what we could do. We're going to move this reverser forward, and we're going to set the throttle up, and we're going to release our independent brake and get our train moving forward. So the one problem I just had here, I didn't change the cutout to lead or dead, not to lead or dead, to freight, so hopefully that doesn't mess anything up for me. That green light is actually for me, so good deal. We gotta go, what, 934 yards, so we should be good to go. 20 miles an hour, so I shouldn't go any faster than 20. Yeah, that was the light for me. That makes sense. And that next light's also for me. Okay, we're just going to kind of coast here. Might have to set my independent brake as I do this. There's my speed limit change. And as we coast across the summit here, we're going to finally park this train in about 500 yards and be done. So that light says we're good to go. It's technically green. There it goes. And there's no more lights at this point. Just basically turn to the siding. Switches are all set, and it looks like we're going to be going to 15 miles an hour, so it's good that we're already down to 15 miles an hour already. So good deal there. And at this point, we're going to be stopping the train in about 200 yards, so we want to make sure we get this on track with camera 3, just to make sure we're in the right angle and everything for this to happen. And let's go ahead and slow down a little bit more here. Get under 10. The mission's about done at this point, really. Everything else is just parking and locking the train down. Okay, we're going to kind of release the brake here a little bit so it doesn't go too fast. About 50 yards, and at that point, that's a good time to kind of slow this engine down. Let's hope for the best. I hope I got a gold medal. It's going to suck if it says silver. Okay, I think we got this. It's just gonna naturally come to a stop right about the 2-yard line. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to bump it. And right there, that will do it. Lock this train down. We're good. So set the reverser to neutral. Automatic brake to full service. I'm a little worried because it says 79.35, so I don't know if that's enough. So let's see what it says, if I get any points for some of this stuff. Lock the window. Reverse it to neutral. No points for that. Park a locomotive. Brake to full service. No points for that either. Switch off any active light in the train. Well, there's our step lights. Our gauge light's already off. There's no point to turn that on. These lights need to go off. And press shutdown on the engine itself. And the inside lights were already off, but we're going to turn off these outside lights. Leave that alone, I guess. And there it goes. Go to location, walk over to the pickup truck. Oh, 81. Good. We got past 81. That's good news. Okay. And what else do we have to do here? This is already set and it's already off, so we're going to leave that the way it is. What I am going to do here is set the handbrake to applied. That's kind of interesting. 50, 75, and fully applied. If I was ever going to go the other way, there's actually a release button. It's really hard to find the release button here for this, but there's actually a release button to unlock this, but this is the way you would essentially apply your handbrake to lock it down, and so that way this engine's officially locked down. I do want to turn off the bell. It doesn't need to be on anymore. And what I am going to do, instead of going out this front door here, I'm going to go out the back door. And this engine's officially shut off, but the engine behind me is not. So instead of going on the ground, which may accidentally end the mission, I'm going to just make sure I can turn this engine off as well. So let's go into this engine. You don't really need to do anything in there other than just turning off these lights here, pressing the shutdown button. And that should shut this engine off officially. And because we want to make sure we have two engines, we're just going to lock down both handbrakes. Okay, that one didn't want to do it. There it goes. 25, 50, 75, and fully applied. We're good there. And we're locked down. This engine is ready to go. And I guess the only other thing I got to do is take out the actual handle. I realized I left the handle then. Let's get over there and deal with that. There it goes. Take that handle out since we don't need it. And according to this, we got 250 points for shutting the engine down. That's actually kind of funny. And 500 points just for stopping. So we might get a extra point for just doing our duty and just stopping at the truck. So that is it for this. Let's see what our final score is. Let's run over to the truck and hope for the best. see what our score. 84.35. Yikes, I'm scared. Gold medal, yay, I don't have to do this again, thank goodness. Wow, I was a little worried because of that first speed bump I got over there. So we did really good. 2 hours and 46 minutes. I am so sorry this is so long, but I hope people can do fully fueled and get a gold on fully fueled. 37 miles we drove on that train, walked almost 2 miles, that's insane. So far I'm level 13, level 10 for Sandpatch Grade, and level 11 for the GP38-2. So that's it for this episode. If you like it, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. And I know this is a long one on YouTube, but you know, just enjoy. There's a bunch of little things to tell you where everything's at, and so feel free to click on that if you're looking for specific stuff. And we will see you in the next one. Thankfully, not in this episode again. Yay! Bye, everybody. An hour as I roll along. I don't want to go over 10 as I do this, or I'm going to accidentally speed. Let's get into the other issue of where I've been for the last year while we're waiting for a train to do a thing. So I, in one of these videos, I believe it was fully fueled, I said this, I can't remember right off the top of my head, but I said something like, in a very brief comment, hey, I think I should go back to school. That was the end of that, and you didn't see me. I think you had intermittent recording, and then at one point I just stopped recording altogether and just disappeared altogether.